Hello everyone, and welcome back to Learn Laugh. I'm Anna, and as always, I'm here with my co-host, Ben. Today, we're taking on a big topic, one that's important for understanding the United States and democracy itself, the American election system.
Hi, everyone. Yes, the American election might seem complicated, but don't worry, we're going to break it down step by step, from understanding democracy to the voting process. We talk about everything you need to know to feel more informed.
So if you've ever wondered how the American election really works, what the Electoral College is, or why every 4 years the whole world seems to tune into American politics, this episode is for you.
And you don't need to be an expert to follow along. Whether you're new to politics or just brushing up, we'll make it simple and even a little bit fun.
Let's start with the basics. America is known as a democratic republic. Ben, can you explain what that means?
Of course, in simple terms, a democratic republic means that the people have the power to elect representatives who make decisions on their behalf. So, in the U.S., people vote to choose leaders who will represent their interests.
Exactly. And this system is based on democratic principles like voting rights, freedom of speech, and equal representation.
Right, and there are 3 branches of government that help balance power: the executive, the legislative, and the judicial branches. This system is meant to prevent any one branch from becoming too powerful.
Now, let's dive into the structure of the U.S. election system itself. How does it work, Ben?
Well, in the U.S., there are 3 main types of elections: federal, state, and local. The federal election is when people vote for the president and members of Congress. State elections focus on governors, senators, and other state officials. Local elections cover things like mayors and city council members.
And every 4 years, we have a major election, the presidential election. That's when people from all 50 states vote on the same day to help choose the president.
Now, here's where things can get a little confusing: the Electoral College.
The Electoral College isn't a college in the way we usually think of it. Instead, it's a system for electing the president. So, when Americans vote for a presidential candidate, they're actually voting for a group of electors who then vote on behalf of their state.
Right, each state has a set number of electors based on its population. Larger states like California have more electors, while smaller states like Wyoming have fewer.
And it takes 270 electoral votes to win the presidency. So even if a candidate wins the most popular votes nationwide, they still need to win enough electoral votes. Anna, let's talk about the major political parties, the Democrats and the Republicans.
In the U.S., these are the 2 main political parties. Each party has its own ideas and approaches to issues, from the economy to healthcare.
And during elections, each party chooses a candidate to represent them. Then those candidates go head-to-head in the general election.
One of the biggest parts of the election process is the campaign season. This is when candidates work to win support by sharing their ideas and plans.
Campaigns are all about persuading voters. They run ads, participate in debates, and hold rallies to connect with people across the country.
And before the general election, each party holds primary elections to decide who will represent them. Some states hold caucuses instead, which are more like community meetings where people gather and discuss their choices.
Let's take a moment to talk about the issues that often drive elections. This can include topics like healthcare, the economy, education, and the environment.
Exactly. Candidates often focus their campaigns around these key issues, and voters choose candidates whose values align with their own.
And every election brings new challenges and priorities. For example, in recent years, climate change has become a bigger issue for younger voters.
Now let's cover how Americans actually vote. In the U.S., there are a few different ways to vote, including in-person voting, mail-in voting, and early voting.
Yes, and people have to register before they vote. Some states have strict voter ID laws, while others are more flexible.
Election night is when the initial results come in. People across the country watch as each state reports its votes.
And sometimes, it can take days or weeks to get the final results, especially if there are close races or mail-in ballots.
If a new president is elected, They'll go through a transition period, where they prepare to take office. This transition is crucial for the new administration to be ready.
And the peaceful transition of power is a hallmark of American democracy. It shows respect for the system and the will of the people. All right, I think we covered a lot today, from the foundation of democracy to the voting process. We hope this episode gave you a deeper understanding of how American elections work.
Absolutely, and remember, no matter where you are, voting and civic engagement are powerful ways to shape the future.
Thanks for joining us today on Learn Laugh. We'll see you next time with more interesting topics.